So today I have my homemade chili. I have this lovely pizza bun that I bought at the deli, a couple of Belmoros for dessert, and a raspberry Coca-Cola. So I'm going to be digging into that pretty soon. This chili is my homemade chili. I make it and I freeze it in these small salmon jars. I've been doing that for years. And when I want some, I just take some out. There's actually 2 of these in that bowl. So, anyways, I'm ready to dig in. Before I start, my friends, I want to speak a little bit about Turkey. As we all know, Turkey has suffered a major catastrophe, a devastating earthquake which has killed thousands of people and devastated and disrupted the lives and injured many others. And my heart goes out to the people of Turkey. I can't imagine my friends having to go through something like that. I really can't. Like I said, it's just got to be absolutely devastating. I was in Turkey in 2008, and I stayed overnight in Istanbul. And it's just a beautiful ancient city, beautiful people, amazing scenery, amazing food. The people are so lovely, my heart just goes out to them. So, my mom phoned the other night, and she was talking about Turkey. And she was just watching the news and just heartbroken over what she saw in the news. And I think we all feel that way. So once again, my dear friends, I say a prayer for the people of Turkey, and my heart goes out to them. I only hope that, the healing can start at some point. I know it'll be a while, but, I guess they have to rebuild, and it's not going to be easy. So anyways, I just can't imagine that kind of devastation. So, once again, my deepest thoughts are with the people of Turkey right now. Also, I want to do a shout out to Bongo Cat. Bongo Cat wanted a shout out, and so there's your shout out, my friend Bongo Cat. Now, I forgot to mention when I was talking about Turkey that one of my viewers suggested I do this, but I'd been thinking about it for a while anyway. So I'm glad my viewer kind of reminded me. As it is, I'm in Mexico right now. If you're watching this, I've had to pre-record some of these videos, and that's why it's taken me so long to get around to doing this video and mentioning the people of Turkey. So anyways, I'm on holidays right now. Linda and I have been planning this trip for months, so by the time you see this, I'll be hopefully lying on a beach in Acapulco, or maybe snorkeling, but I hope that's the case. Also, a shout out to all you people as well. A shout out to all my viewers out there who are always so good to support me. I appreciate that so much. I really do. Okay. So I'm gonna try some of this my chili here. When I make chili, I make it kind of spicy. So that's a raspberry Coca-Cola. Never had one before. When I make chili, I buy a big bag of peppers. Regular peppers, jalapeno peppers, or banana peppers. Get lots of those. A lot of onions, garlic. I mix beef with sausage meat or beef with pork. Tomatoes. At least three kinds of beans, at least 3 kinds. Red kidney beans, black kidney beans, the white ones, garbanzo beans or chickpeas, whatever. So I get a real potpourri of beans in there and different things, and I let it simmer for hours. Wow, this is good. I'm going to try this pizza pretzel. There's some peppers on that too. It's a beautiful day out there right now. It's just like spring. We've had a few days Just like that. And the days are getting longer. I walk the dog twice a day. And last night when I walked the dog, a lot of times I always wear reflector vest and a headlamp, like on the shorter days. But last night was the first night I ever had to turn my headlamp on. And I see my son walking to work in the morning sometimes. And just a few weeks ago, I could barely see him out in the dark, but then the last little while, it's like daylight out there when he goes, I think he walks by at about 7:40, thereabouts. There's some peppers on there too. I never mentioned this before. I've talked about, my high school days and all that, but, those peppers are hot. I never actually graduated from high school. I was short 3 subjects. Because I went to work in a logging camp and I was making huge money. And at the time, when I was young and foolish, that just seemed more important. And it didn't bother me for the first few years that I didn't finish high school, but after a while it started to. And when my kids are in school, I'd always say, well, you have to finish school. And they say, well, you didn't graduate, Dad. And I got thinking, they're right. Who am I to be a hypocrite and to tell them to, to finish school when I didn't myself? So, in 2007, I decided to go back to school. I was 50 years old. And I remember watching an episode of All in the Family when Archie Bunker went back to school. I think he was 52. Not 52, but 50 as well. So I wasn't sure how to go about it. I thought I'd do like a correspondence thing or an online thing or something. And then I found out about this school in the town I live where they, anybody can go back to school and finish. Doesn't matter your age. But it was geared towards people who may have struggled in school or just didn't finish for whatever reason. So I looked into it and I decided to, I went there and talked to the people. And there was, people kind of all ages there, but it's mostly younger people, students. And so I decided to give it a shot. So I would go there. I started in the fall of 2006. Oh, sorry, 2007. The fall of 2007. I was 50. And that was, I think around October or September. Excuse me. It wasn't right at the beginning of the school year. I think I got in there sometime around October. And you kind of go in there, work at your own pace. So I went and talked to them, and they told me I was credited already for my math in science, I had to do English, social studies, and what was the other one now? What was it? English, social studies, and oh, good grief, I can't remember what it was. It was the science. That's right, too. I had to do biology. That's right. I thought I was credited for all my science. It was math I was credited for, yeah. So, I don't know how I forgot that. Old age. English, social studies, and biology. So anyway, back to school. I'm sitting in this classroom with an average about 30 students. And I was probably older than all the teachers and the principal. Well, I know for a fact I was only the principal. He was only about 40, if that. So I dug in, and I actually found it to be a lot easier this time around because I think I took it a lot more seriously. And it felt kind of weird going there, but there was people like in their 30s and all that, and 40s, a little bit older, but most of the people were quite young. And I remember going there and seeing a lot of young people, and they were just like, 16, 17, 18, or even younger maybe, I don't know, but and a lot of them would just be kind of fooling around. And I thought, well, the reason they're here in the first place is they either left school or got thrown out of the school or failed miserably or something. So you would think that if they were there, they would have, changed things up and taken it a bit more seriously. I mean, like a 3-year-old. Anyway, so that was their business, not mine. But I remember a young girl, about 16, 17, who was sitting right at the very front of the corner, the first row, and she was very studious. She was just working away. She had made up her mind that she was going to finish school. That's all there was to it. And I was in the same position. But I remember, English doing Shakespeare, and that was just confusing when I was taking it now, as it was when I was actually in high school. I just had a lot of trouble interpreting Shakespeare. And biology was actually a lot of fun. It was interesting. I really started to get into it. A lot of the terminology and everything. It was very interesting. I learned so much. Stuff I thought I knew, I didn't. And social studies was kind of interesting because I had to do a report on past events. So I decided to write about the Kennedy assassination, which was interesting because I was alive then when that happened. I remember seeing it on the news and all that. So I have my own perspective on that as well. I was 6 years old when that happened, but, 6.5, but I remember it like it was yesterday. My parents were just glued to the TV. So I incorporated, my own perspective along with, the actual event. So anyways, I'm doing pretty good. I'm in school, English. I always kind of enjoyed it. You know, I was always kind of good at grammar and stuff like that. So, I'm taking this course. I'm doing quite well, like I said. Early December, I find out that my marriage is about to end. So that was very devastating. I mean, I found it hard to concentrate. But by the same token, school took my mind off, other things. It gave me something to focus on. And I gotta tell you, when I was in that class, there was a music room right next to it. It was mostly all glass. You could see in there and see out and whatever, but there was always people in there practicing. There's some guy playing a bass guitar and whatever. It was never very loud, but they all seemed that riff from Smell the Water, except nobody could play it. They'd always go, duh, 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 like that. They'd always hit the wrong note somewhere. And, you sit there and you'd be, this went on every day, It didn't matter who played that song. They couldn't get through the whole riff. Excuse me. But it was fun. It added some humor to the whole situation. So anyway, marriage was ending. And I kept on going to school. Now, the thing with that school, you could go in there and do the classroom, or you could just do it from home. So I was mostly going in and doing the classroom, but I have to sniffle because this chili is so hot it makes me sniffle. So I would go in there and I would do the classroom, but some days I just didn't feel like it because I was just so preoccupied with my impending, my divorce coming up, or separation at that point. And things were kind of weird at home, obviously. So anyways, most of the time I went in because it got me out of the house. Kind of changed my surroundings. But some days I just didn't feel like going in. So we got over Christmas, got into the new year. Now, I was on track to finish in February, because I knew it would only take me a few months, because I was working like a dog to get through this course. And by the time I graduated, I knew I would have not just a grade 12 equivalent, but I would have completed grade 12. I had tons of homework. I remember that. And I still remember all that Shakespeare and all the poems that I had to, interpret and whatever, and the stories and that kind of thing. That was so much work, but like I said at that time, I think it kind of, gave me something else to focus on. buy a raspberry Coke again. It's just the taste of Coca-Cola just by itself is what I'm used to. It's what I like. And I don't think it should be tampered with. So adding that weird raspberry flavor to it doesn't do anything for it. But I always wanted to try it. And I can say right now, I won't try it again. So, I was on track to finish in February of 2008, but because of my divorce, things are taking a little bit longer because, like I said, some days I just couldn't concentrate. I just didn't feel like doing homework and applying myself, so I finished about a month later. I finished around the end of March, so that was still good. Now, graduation wasn't until June, the end of June. So I was kind of thinking that'd be kind of cool. So anyway, come June, we have a little graduation ceremony. There was only a handful of us graduating. And we went out for dinner, for lunch at this Chinese buffet. It was really good. It was a beautiful day in June. Got my diploma. I got a picture of myself getting my diploma. Like I said, there was I think 4 or 5 of us graduating. Not very many. But it was, it meant a lot to me because I felt very proud of myself. And given the circumstances, I'm glad that I was able to finish. So I did that anyway. So I got a couple of Balmorals, a raspberry, and a chocolate. I used to buy these when I was a kid. I think when I was a kid, they were probably maybe 20 cents or something. I'm not sure. But very decadent. So I got my diploma. And like I said, I was quite proud that I was able to do that. And that was the same year that I went to Turkey. I actually went to Turkey in May of 2008. I didn't just go to Turkey, I was on a cruise. And I went to a lot of other countries as well, including Egypt, Israel, the Ukraine. Oh, this is good. Wow. Also went to Cyprus, Romania. But it was an interesting trip. But I would highly recommend it if anybody never finished school. I think they should. Wow, this is good. meals. Oh, it was just amazing. But for an appetizer, I have this lemon garlic prawns with pita bread, and there were 7 prawns, like just plump, juicy prawns, really plump. Wow. And my daughter had calamari for appetizer, and she had lamb. She likes lamb. Wow. That's rich. That's a good chocolate cake. I'm in the process of editing my rice pudding video for my cooking channel. I recorded the whole thing yesterday. Got some of the editing done. Now I'm doing the rest of the editing today. And I'll probably still have to work on it tomorrow. Oh, I'll need this. One of the things that appeals to me about these things is the coconut around there. I love coconut. This is like a Valentine's Day thing. See the little Valentines? Wow, here we go. Wow. The other night when I had dinner with my daughter, I was absolutely stuffed because it was her birthday. They gave her a free cheesecake, and I didn't think she'd be able to eat it because she left a few of her calamaris on the plate from her appetizer, which I ate, and then she almost finished her lamb, but not quite, because it was a huge portion. So I didn't think she'd ever be able to do dessert, but she did. I couldn't believe it. But the staff came out and sang happy birthday, and some of the patrons joined in. I thought that was very nice. She's 33 now. I don't know where the time goes, I really don't. I mean, when she was born, I was younger than she is now. I was 32. Last year she got a free dessert too. I think it was a creme brulee or something like that. Yeah, my rice pudding that I made for my cooking channel turned out very well. I've made that dessert literally hundreds of times. Because for 36 years, I probably made that dessert twice a month. So twice a month, that's 24 times a year. Multiply that by 36. Plus I made it at home. I used to make restaurants I worked at. Wow, this is really decadent. I have to admit, it's good quality cake. I told my daughter the other night, because I was so stuffed, I told her I want to get one of those self-driving cars. So when I'm that full, I can lie down in the back seat and just have a little snooze on the way home. Man, eating that much makes me tired. That was a lot of food I had the other night. A lot. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that was quite a bit. Good old chili. I love my chili. That pizza pretzel was pretty good too. That bakery deli I go to, it's in the grocery store. They bake everything fresh there. I was watching. It's a huge kitchen back there. Excuse me. And they were baking off loaves of cheese bread when I was there. Really going to town. Excuse me. Well, anyways, my friends, that's all there is to that story. Yeah, there's a little raspberry on there. Trying to figure out what that was. Well, thank you for sharing this time with me. You know, I love you all. I always hope for the best for all of you. So you look after yourselves, look after each other, and stay awesome, my friends, okay? We'll see you next time.